Originally, while playing this game, I was obsessed with figuring out the story. I was frustrated that I couldn't get to the various story beats fast enough, and just everything seemed to take too long. The characters you meet and the experiences you have with them before their final moments were powerful, but I always felt like I was missing something to glue everything together. But then, my experience shifted. The glue that brought these on-the-surface standalone stories together was me. To be fair, there is an actual story behind the gameplay. Everyone you end up helping were people Stella knew during their life. This game is about every character's life, their final moments of improvement or defeat, and how they connect to the player themselves. You're forced to spend lots of time doing things for the various characters, and that helps engage you into their individual stories. I couldn't help but think back, during the low moments, to times in my life where I felt something similar to someone on the boat. Everyone is unique. Everyone had some life they once lived, and everyone has a different way of approaching the end of the road. I'll get into what the actual story is later on, but first, let's talk about what it's like to experience the story. I think what started hitting me the hardest early on was just how diverse the process was for helping each character pass on to the afterlife. Some had a leftover desire or problem they had to sort out, and then some were looking for a way to feel complete but never achieved it. Every character you meet is connected to Stella, and even though your gameplay is helping others pass on, you're really helping Stella find peace, which hits at the core of what this game really did to me while playing. It made me think back through my life, along with Stella. It brought me back to my own childhood, when Stella was confronted with hers, and the game does a wonderful job of making everything feel impactful. When crafting any experience with a soft narrative that's not in the forefront, it's important to make sure that everything that is shown fits into some kind of essential experience. The experience here is therapeutic. I don't imagine anybody's life was turned around because of this game, but it didn't have to be, because we felt it through Stella's journey alone. Anything the game makes the player feel from their own life is a bonus. What stumped me for a while though was the gameplay. Different quests require you at times to travel the entire map to progress. You need to prepare food, keep spirits up, upgrade your ship, and at times, the story can get lost in that. But I think the game still manages to do one thing right in all of this: cohesion. There is no activity you did that wasn't connected to some story being told. You learned gardening from Summer, and because of that, you end up learning more about them. The same can be said for the rest of the cast, like Astrid and Gwen. But to be fair, I still think the game makes a lot of activities and progression as a whole quite a bit longer than I would like. The reason Stella is a human and the rest of the cast are various creatures is because that's how she saw them. Alice was a loving, careful, yet shy hedgehog, and Atul is a larger-than-life, huggable frog. It's a fun way as a player to get more insight into Stella's relationship with them without a single word needing to be said, and it helps us understand her better as well. The story here really, behind the gameplay we directly engage with, is Stella was a nurse who tended to people who were on their deathbed. She had quite a life filled with amazing people, and when she started to pass on herself, she had business left to address. The game's story is her way of working through her issues and life while at the same time helping those from her past. It's a story about grief, what you're left with at the end of the road, and strangely enough, it's about how beautiful everything can be at the strangest of places. I teared up at pretty much every character that passed on. And with their passing, the ship got quieter and quieter, but it made the ending hit all that much harder. What did you all think of Spiritfarer? Have you played it yet? Or has me talking about it got you interested? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe. It costs nothing, and you can always unsubscribe later on if you want. I hope to see you next time.